Well, hello everybody. Um, Obviously, I guess we'll have to wait for some people to come in. Um, and while we're waiting, of course, so hmm, let's see. Mommy yo, yo yo yo, everyone go to the bubble party, and everyone is love. Every time you will come to go. I know that you are there today, and come in, be my warrior. Number. Hmm. And Steve still no one's here yet, huh? Hmm. I'm just waiting here still for people to show up. Hmm. Oh no, I'm in here. All right. Well, with 10 minutes in, I'm just going to start talking, and hopefully, people will eventually show up. Um, I'll reiterate some of this stuff um, when people show up. So let me get started by saying this. I still am working on getting guests for the upcoming Fridays. I do have a pair of guests confirmed for the 21st. Um, the Knuckleheads will be here on the 21st, Friday, August 21st. I have them confirmed for the 21st. So hopefully you guys will come and check that out. I'm still working on some other guests for between this Friday and then as well. Also, before we get started, just to let everybody know, of course, you guys can always come in a little bit early if you want. If you get the notification, you want to come in and hang out, you're more than welcome to. I usually be here, like getting stuff ready. Um, I'll usually be in here getting stuff ready to go and the like. Um, so you're more than welcome to come in and hang out. Oh, it looks like we have something. Well, hello, somebody's come in, and thank you for liking as well. Anna, hey, on my way home from work. Oh, okay, hold on. Let's. Okay. Anonymity. one of the things I was just going over a bit here in the start is first, just letting you know, you can always come in a little early to hang out too, if you'd like, if you're available to do so. Um, you know, you're always welcome to do that. Also, let's see, heading home after a 10-hour day, looking forward to relax. Okay, well, hopefully, hopefully, anonymity. I'll be able to help you relax a bit and give you some good information here. One of the things I was talking about just before you came on, of course, is I do have some guests confirmed for one of the Friday night forums, the one on the 21st. The Knuckleheads have already confirmed for that. I'm still trying to get guests for this Friday, of course, and for next Friday. Trying to also get one more guest for the 21st. I do have the Knuckleheads, Crumbion and Mr. Hop from up in Canada. They're confirmed for Friday, August 21st for the Friday Night Forum episode of this. So I hope you'll be able to join me for that when I interview them um, on that. Um, Also, just again extending the invitation um, if you're available, you can get on a little bit early. You can always come on before the official start and hang out and stuff like that as well. So, anyways, without no further ado, though, hopefully I'm coming in through fine for you there, anonymity. Um, but anyways, let's get started on topic at hand. So the first thing I was going to talk about tonight was, of course, doing a little bit of a Toonami update, as there were some things that came out in the past week here. I don't, for those who watch Toonami, I don't know if you're one of those who watches Toonami or not, but just in case you do, um, last Tuesday on the 28th, they announced that the second season of Fire Force was confirmed for Toonami starting on October the 24th. And um, what that has meant in regards to this is that starting this Saturday, they're going to rerun the second half of the season. Um, okay. See, I will definitely try. Sounds good. Thank you. Thank you. And again, thank you for the like too. I did see that you liked it as well. I always appreciate the likes and the shares when you can do them to help with the algorithm, see if we can get some more people in here, share in the conversation. But anyways, so back to what I was talking about here. So yeah, so last Tuesday they announced that the second season of Fire Force would premiere on Toonami on October the 24th. And in helping lead into that, they starting this Saturday, they're going to rerun the first half or the second half of the first season um, on on starting this Saturday. And I'll get to the announcement of the program. They also announced that Toonami would start introducing more original shows to the broadcast in 2021 in partnership with Crunchyroll. Um, of course, they had already announced that they got the rights to the movie Uzumaki, not to be confused with Naruto Uzumaki. This is a movie, totally different anime movie. Um, they also announced here. among, let's see, among some of the other among the shows that they will also be having as part of 2021 include they announced Fina Pirate Princess will be part of the lineup in 2021, as well as Blade Runner Black Lotus. So let me at least get you kind of updated here on what the schedule will be starting this Saturday, August the 8th, moving forward. Um, okay. I need to because check that out. Um, oh, interesting. I wonder what shows they're bringing. Well, I just okay. I just told you. Fiend. As I always say, I'll repeat what I just said. They have the rights to the Uzumaki movie, as well as bringing Fina, Pirate Princess, and Blade Runner Black Lotus. These are original shows that they're doing with Crunchyroll. Now, this is going to be the lineup for Toonami starting this Saturday the 8th. So at midnight will be Dragon Ball Super. They're showing a portion of it. They didn't go all the way back to the beginning. I talked about it on one of my previous videos. And then at 12:30, they brought back JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Goblin Wind, so they're continuing that. And then the second half of the Fire Force season will be rerun at 1 a.m. Then at 1:30, it's Black Clover. So at 12, Dragon Ball Super. 12:30, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Goblin Wind. At 1 a.m., Fire Force. 1:30, Black Clover. At 2 a.m., the Adult Swim original show Ball Masters 9009. That's one of, I guess, one of Cartoon Network / William Street's productions. At 3, it's Naruto Shippuden, and then at 3:30, Samurai Jack. So, okay, is that supposed to be a happy face? That little mark right there. Um. So yeah. So let me give some of my 2 cents on that. I kind of understand why they're going with original with deciding to do some original animes, original programming, just because with with the productions all kind of slowed down a little bit due to the COVID and all that. You know, the dub schedules are a little bit slowed down, because COVID and trying to keep solid lineup. hmm Well, I especially like Naruto and Black Clover. I may not care for, in terms of Black Clover, I may not care for how some of the voice actors from Funimation are behaving, but that's another story for another day. But yeah, but basically, yeah, I think a big part of the reason why they decided, I think, to do some original work in conjunction with Crunchyroll is that with the dub with the dub schedule kind of slowing down a little bit, due to the pandemic and stuff like that. It's probably, from what I understand, with the pandemic and with the economic crisis caused by the pandemic, that's the the anime acquisition, the licensing acquisition process has slowed down a little bit. Um, I'm digging Black Clover. Yeah, Black Clover is a pretty cool show. Um, but here's the thing: even though things are slowing down because of the pandemic, here's one of the points that I always want to make. First off, Toonami and Adult Swim have been around for a long time. They've had a number of licenses over the years. That are a number of completed series. Among the stuff that they've already had, that they've gotten the license to from the past, that they could probably get. Now they could reacquire some of those already finished licenses, include like Trigun, Big O, Outlaw Star, Samurai Champloo, Wolf's Rain, Scribe, Witch Hunter Robin. I think I already said Wolf's Rain. Of course, Dead Man Wonderland, Morbido, Guardian of the Spirit. Those are a number of the titles that they've had in the past. They could probably reacquire. Paranoia Agent, which they recently did. Of course, Fooly Cooley and all those, all that franchise. Number of series that they've had over the years that they could reacquire for showing. Ghost of the Shell was probably one of my favorites. The Dot Hack franchise is another one. Inuyasha. Now these are just the properties that they've licensed in the past. A number of these companies, including Funimation, of course, but also let's see, but also like Viz Media, Bang Zoom, Sentai. They have a number, classic. Let's see. I remember when Adult Swim was every night, just super late. Ha ha ha. Yeah, classics. Yeah, I think I mentioned a lot of those classics. A lot of that work came from LA, of course, the LA dubbing crew, but um, some of it came from. Well, actually, what a lot of people probably don't remember too is originally the original dub for Neon Genesis Evangelion, which was another big classic that was um, on Adult Swim and on I was on Adult Swim and on and as part of Toonami as well, was Neon Genesis Evangelion. That particular series, of course, was actually the original dub for that series was by ADV, the Houston-based voice cast. Spike Spencer was voiced Shinji, of course. Everybody's favorite pothead, Amanda Wynn Lee, voiced Rei Ayanami, and then Tiffany Grant, of course, was Asuka. Anyways, give me one moment here. I'm gonna turn on my light in my room here. Okay, I'm back now. So, well, aside, of course, from Neon Genesis and Evangelion, some of the other stuff that they were able to show on Toonami from the Houston-based voice. Okay, no worries. Just got home anyways. Cool. Well, I hope you'll stick around. um, But yeah, aside from Neon Genesis and Evangelion, um, some of the other stuff that came out from Sentai. Of course, right now you got Shogeki no Food Wars, Shogeki no Soma. That one's actually was dubbed by Sentai Seraphim Digital Sounds, the recording studio. Sentai Filmworks is the distribution company. Also, they also on Toonami had shown. I'll be in here. All right. Well, thank you. Um, yeah. So, of course, included a Kami Got Kill, and Parasite the Maxine were also both on Toonami as well. As you know, a couple of years ago. So they have all these licenses that they could bring back. I'm sure it may not be quite as hard to bring back licenses. Ah, love Food Wars. Yeah, the Food Wars is pretty cool. I mean, the only problem is it makes you hungry. I'm sure it makes a lot of people hungry when they're watching it. It's a good story and everything, but it's like, man, don't you just wish you could just reach right to the TV and pull out some of the goodies that they're cooking? I mean, some of that stuff looks so good. I mean, you want to just, it's almost like you want to jump through the TV or something like that and just get some of it. um, but yeah, but aside from the stuff that I've talked about that they've already had over the years, these companies have a lot of other stuff that they could show on Toonami as well. I would say stuff that they've already dubbed for distribution purposes. And it looks like we have a third person in here. Hello. Um, I can't even. Okay, let's see what you have to. Let's see what your latest comment is here. Anonymity. I can't even watch it without getting a good snack. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like obviously anything about food is gonna make you hungry. And hello to whoever just came in. I hope to at least find out who you are. You can comment to at least say hello, so where I can acknowledge you properly by your name. Um, yeah, but I know of there are a lot of properties I know from some of these other companies that would work out great for for Toonami. You know, um, there's some action stuff from there's of course some they're shy up here. Yeah, I guess they are shy. That's cool though. Um, I hope they come back. Hope they do at least say hi some way. But um, yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of good works that they have actually have had license for distribution purposes. Um, well, of course, Hunter x Hunter is of course another one that was on Toonami at one point, which dubbed out here in LA. The 2011 version. The 99 version would have been good for the afternoon version of Toonami. I don't know if it would have worked quite as well for the nighttime version, though. Um, so, yeah, I mean, there's, let's see, from the LA, from the LA crew, of course. Some of the stuff I could sit there and think would be good for Toonami's lineup for some of the stuff that they already have, just they never put on Toonami. Let me see. Well, Persona 4 would be a great addition. It would be a great addition, I think, to Toonami. That one was a pretty good one. Let's see. Never seen Hunter x Hunter. It's one I've always meant to watch, but never got around to. Yeah, there's actually two versions of it now. Um there was the one that was done back in 1999 that was actually dubbed up in Canada by Blue Water. Um with, let's see, Eleanor Holt doing the voice of Gone, Annika Otto Good or Osgood, Osgood. Got a kind of a Otto Good, I think, doing the voice of Kahlua. Cheryl McMaster doing the voice of Karapika, and Jonathan Love doing the voice. That was in the 1999 version, the one that I guess Funimation was showing on their channel back in 2008 for a while there, and then or in the late 2000s, early 2010s. And then there was a more recent one that was originally done in 2011 that I guess just concluded like last summer, I believe, about a year ago on Toonami. That was the 2011 version. Um, so, um, so yeah, so, but there was that one. Of course, Persona 4 is a good one that they could that of course, uh, Viz and Bang Zoom, I think, have the license for it in terms of distribution. Um, they could get the broadcast. I think with stuff that they've already recorded and have dubbed for distribution, they could probably license for broadcast if they wanted to. I'm pretty sure it'd be easier to do that. Um, which version do you like better? Are they different? Well, in terms of content, they're not necessarily the only real difference between the 1999 and the 2011 version anonymity is that the 1999 version stops at the Longview arc, whereas the 2011 version goes through like the Greed Island arc and up through the Chimera Ants arc. Okay, so the only difference is the 2011 probably goes a bit deeper into the arcs than the 99 version did. Um, I don't know if that was just one of those cases like with some animes, like with Naruto, where maybe the anime was kind of at or ahead of the manga or whatever, and they didn't have the material as of yet. But but the only real difference, as I said, was was that the 2011 version did more of the art. Um, I'd say I have. I don't know if I have a preference between the two. There are things I liked about both of them. Like I liked that the 2011 version went further into the storyline than 99 version did, but I like the fact that in the 99 version that I like the fact that Blue Water was what did the dub. I'm kind of I kind of would have liked to seen Blue Water get the shot to dub the 2011 version since they got the chance to dub the earlier version. But it's one of those things where you know they just chose not to do that, and it's kind of funny because I've recently been going back and watching some of the old Gundam series, and many of the earlier Gundam series were actually dubbed more up in Canada. I know Mobile Suit Gundam was dubbed by Ocean, and then Zeta Gundam and Mobile Fighter G Gundam were dubbed by Blue Water. So, well, let's see. It looked like you. Okay, I read that. Looked like. Should I even bother with the 99? version or just go to 2011? Um, Again, I would say it depends upon what you're looking for. If you want more of the story, then 2011 is probably. If you want like more of the story, 2011 is the better. Obviously it has more of the story for you. But if you like, you know, if you like hearing different, if you're into watching the dubs and listening to different studios, I'd suggest watching both. 99, as I said, just goes up to the Longview arc and it stops at about, I think it's like 50, right around 50 episodes, 52 episodes. Whereas, I think the 2011 version has over 100 episodes, but it depends upon what you're looking for. For more of the story, 2011 version is probably the one you want to watch. But if you want to kind of hear and compare the two different dubs, um, then I would suggest watching both, just so you have an idea. Okay, I see. Okay, I see. You made a couple other comments here, so let's take a look at those. I just want a good story highlighted, which with with some action and drama, and such. Um, yeah, I would say both versions do it. Both both versions do have a considerable amount of action. Of course, you have to understand too. This is about them becoming hunters and learning about the different hunters and stuff like that. Um, Depending about how much you like the story, some of the other storylines, like you know, kind of the interplay between the four. Like I would say, there's probably more action in the first from everything from the. So if you're looking for more action, then probably the 99 version might be better because more of the action happens in like from everything from the Longview arc prior to that. Um, things there are times when things do slow down a little bit in the 2000 in the later arcs, but you know, let's see. I mostly watch subs, um, but I watch whatever is convenient. Oh, fair enough. Well, if you just watch subs, then I guess it wouldn't matter if you watched either version. I mean, I'd say if you're looking more for action, probably the 99 version is a better one then because more of the, I'd say more of the action is in the earlier series than in the later. In the later series, they do cut down like the first arc, kind of the introductory arc down a bit in the first arc. So, let's see. World building is a very world building is very important to me. Um, okay, world building. Um, if you can kind of explain, if you kind of explain a little bit more what you mean by that anonymity, maybe I can answer your question a little bit better. Let's see. When you're talking about world, are you talking about like more? You want more of the story, or what exactly are you getting at when you're talking about world building there? Um, just so I understand how to maybe try to answer your question a little bit better there. Okay. Think I'll just okay. Think I'll just start with the 99 version and then I'll move on to 2011. Yeah, okay, that's probably a good if that's probably a good thing to do. Okay, about world building when you were talking about the hunters and stuff as compared to action sequences. In terms of what, so are you in terms of the world, in terms of how they explain like what the hunters are and how they build the characters as hunters? Is that what you're getting at? Um, and just as a fan of anime, I think watching both is probably the best to do, anyways. But yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'd say for that part of it, both series. I'd say if you're looking at the world building idea, I would say that the 99 version is probably the better of the two because they do focus more on the earlier story arcs. As I mentioned earlier, the 2011 version kind of shortens the introductory arc a little bit. Um, Whereas I think the introductory arc was done over. I think well into the double digits in the 99 version, whereas I think it was only, I think in the 2011 version, the introductory arc was compressed into like 4 episodes. I didn't know if it was going to be like um, helping or Helsing versus Helsing Ultimate. Well, I couldn't answer that because I myself not seen Helsing. I have not seen any of the Helsing franchises, so I couldn't really tell you on that. But I'm glad both seem to follow well. Yeah. Um, okay. So with all that being said, of course, about Hunter x Hunter, I'm going to move on a little bit here and talk a little bit more about some of the other stuff that some of the other licenses that they could probably get that would fit into the current Toonami lineup. In fact, I'm going to actually, since we no longer have need of this, I'm going to clear out the Wikipedia page here because I think for notes references, already I've already I've already done all that. So yeah, so let me also just some other stuff that I think could work out. Oh, they're they're very violent. Helsing has an awesome intro and some good scenes, but Helsing Ultimate is just a story done right. Okay, well that's good to know. It's good to know. Um, well, I don't know if I actually they did actually. I think they did actually have Helsing. Now that I think about it, if I remember that, I think they might have actually had, or they might have had Helsing Ultimate on Toonami actually. As I now remember it, I think they did have Helsing Ultimate. I just didn't watch it. I wasn't something that I was particularly interested in it. Um, Check it out sometime. I think you'll. Well, maybe I'll have to now that you're suggesting it. I might have to. Um, Alucard and Integra Helsing. Okay, and then what else? Oh shit! Ha, ha, ha. Oh, okay. um, and I just did a no there by repeating that. That's okay. Um, but yeah, as I was saying earlier, of course, from out here in LA, Persona 5, the um, the animation I think would work well um, with the current Toonami lineup and time slot and stuff like that. Ha ha ha! My bad. No, that's okay. And then I just since I read it, I kind of got looped into it, so that's fine. Their anonymity. Um, Let me see. Persona 5 is a good one. I think they could utilize on of the stuff that they've licensed for distribution that they haven't had on Toonami before. Persona 5 would be a good one. Let's see, what are some other good ones? And we of course want to keep it with the action one. Let's see. At least from let's see. Well, from Sentai Filmworks, some of the some of the stuff from Sentai Filmworks that they could bring on would include like um the Houston base would include like Majestic Prince, Love Alternative, Jinky Extends. These are some mecha animes that would probably do well on Rosafon, Gravion. These would all do well on Toonami, I believe. Some of the more action based ones like include Peacemaker Kurogane, which was actually done by some other cable channels a while back. They picked those up. Um, Kurogane, Peacemaker Kurogane. Let's see some other Bakumatsu stuff that the Hakuoki series would do pretty well, I think, on Toonami. Intrigue in the Bakumatsu. Let's see, Green Saga would be a good one to bring onto Toonami as well. Um, yeah, there are some good ones. Those are some of the ones that are done by Sentai. Let's see, mechas have a solid fan base. Yeah, there are a number of good mechas that the Houston Houston crew voiced. Did the dub voices for. Of course, we know Gurren Lagann was also part of Toonami for a short while there. Um, so yeah, let me see. I'm trying to think of some other good action ones. Let's see. Um, I guess if they wanted to, the Viz dub of Sailor Moon might be an interesting one to throw on there too, because that one was the unedited one that I know a lot of fans liked more. That might be an interesting one because when you and bring back all of the series, the first Sailor Moon, Sailor Moon R, Sailor Moon S, Sailor Moon. Well, I don't know if well I do know that Deke did not dub Supers. That one was not dubbed by. I think Viz may have dubbed that, but I know that one is a bit more. Part of the reason why that one wasn't dubbed because when Deke dubbed the Sailor Moon series, Deke and Cloveway dubbed the Sailor Moon series. They were doing it more for kids, so they had to cut out a bunch of stuff from there. But it might be interesting if they did decide to try to get the broadcast license for the Sailor Moon series of the Sailor Moon series and Sailor Moon Crystal as well. That might be an interesting thing to add on there. And plus, by bringing on the Viz dub of Sailor Moon, that would give them content for probably a good year. Because remember, that series ran for, you have a number of different seasons. You have the first, Sailor Moon, you have Sailor Moon R, you have Sailor Moon S, Sailor Moon Super. So you have a lot of content there. And with them going back to the origin, how it was originally done, that would work in the late night time slot there. So let's take a look. I never watched the Sailor Saga. One of my best friends always tried to tell me it was really good. Yeah, I think again it definitely is geared more towards girls, but um, the Deke and Chloe dubs were actually aimed more for like a younger audience. So there was a significant amount of editing on it. A term for that particular type of editing became known as batterization. It actually first came about back in the 70s when let's see, when Deke dubbed Science Ninja Team Gatchaman as Battle of the Planets. Again, trying to make it more for kids friendly. In fact, in the Gatchaman dub that Deke did, people of my age range would know it as Battle of the Planets. Um, Battle of the Planets. Some people, was known as Battle of the Planets in the late 70s, early 80s, and then G Force in the late 80s, and then ADV did a full redub of it back in 2005 with the adult content put back into place. Yeah, the magical girl thing was hard to watch as a kid when you're watching on DBZ. Yeah, magical girl stuff could actually work. Um, could actually work on Toonami. Because there are a lot of magical girl stuff. Let's see. One of the series that I just remembered was lyrical magical. I think it was magical lyrical girl Nanaho. That one was pretty good. Now that I think about it, another one that was popular that was just out a couple of years ago that was really received a lot of hype, just a few years ago, was of course Madoka Magica, Puella Madoka Magica Magi. That one I've seen before. That one would probably work on Toonami as well. Actually, kind of with some of the darker aspects of the storyline and all that. Um, Magical Girls, Magical Girls stuff could work. Another series I just thought of that would work on Toonami as well. That LA dubbed portions of it, and then the more recent versions, the Khalid Liner Prisma Ilia was dubbed by Sentai was was the Fate series. The Fate series would work on Toonami as well. I think all they'd have to do is just get the broadcast rights because they already have the distribution rights. They already had the rights to dub it and then sell it, so they could they would just do a little bit more of the work and just secure the broadcast rights. They could broadcast the stuff on Toonami, especially right now with a lot of the new stuff being held up because of the coronavirus, the pandemic, and everything going on. Um, there's a lot of these series that they dubbed, that they've distributed. That all they'd have to do now is just focus on getting the broadcast rights, and they could add those to the Toonami lineup as well, and they would work. Okay, and I know Anonymity, you just railed off a bunch of comments, so let me get caught up with you on here. Um, I've seen a few magical girl shows that were really good. I think Little Witch Academia would fare okay on Toonami. Yeah, I've heard of that one. I haven't watched that one yet. Um, let's see. Let's see what else you have to say. Was Madoka Magica the girl witches that ended up being super? I believe many people would. I think that probably was the one. You know, obviously, if you haven't seen Madoka Magica, I don't want to risk spoiling it for you. But yeah, that in some respects that was considered a very dark anime, from what I understand. A lot of people do consider that very dark. Let's see. Um, Fate Zero is my favorite one, and the intro song piano before the breakdown is so damn yeah so good. um yeah, the music for the Fate series is pretty good as well. Piano and violin. Let's see. Yeehaw. I haven't seen much of Little Witch Academia either, but um I know some people that are diehard about it. Well, if you well, right, you did anonymity. You just made a very good point there. If you have a series like that that is very popular, that is very very popular, then you know it would be a good fit for Toonami. You know, see some other series that are out there that have been fully dubbed already that they could get broadcast. Infinite Revias, which is a space odyssey type one, would be a good one they could probably pick up. Space Pirate Mito is another um, Lost Universe, which is part of the Slayers franchise. Or, well, okay, it's not exactly part of the. It's in the same Lost Universe is, I believe, in the same universe, the Slayers universe. Let's see, the Madoka Magica was drawn in tens. Oh, was D in tens. Okay. Ha ha ha. Sorry, I got a mouth on me sometimes. Yeah, that's okay. I just got to remember to kind of edit that out when I'm responding to you. So, um, and for those who are in here, because I know there's three of us in here, I know somebody's just choosing to remain kind of shy, or but I would hope that you guys, if you guys are liking this content, anonymity, I know you already did, but if you like this content, please like and share so we can see if we can get some more people in here and be part of the conversation. I think we're having a pretty good conversation here. Don't you there, anonymity? Um, Slayer's not Slayer's well because it's set more in the daytime. I don't think Slayer would work in the current. Slayers would have been good when Toonami was on in the afternoon, I believe. Didn't know that. I'll have to check it out. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's out there. Why do you think I do all those VA profiles, and it's so people will learn more about some of this work, some of the work that these voice actors do. Show some love to Mike. And yes, I feel the convo is good. Well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff I've seen. You know, as I was saying, Infinite Revius would work good on. Let's see, Silent Mobius. I think is a mecha one that would another mecha one that would work good on Toonami as well. Shingu Secret of the Stellar Wars would do well on it. And Shingu Secret of the Stellar Wars actually is one that could work in either as part of the afternoon Toonami lineup or part of the nighttime. That one's pretty interesting as well. Um, yeah, so wow, we're over the hour mark. Um, might continue this portion of the conversation on for a little while, for just a few more minutes, because obviously there's another thing I wanted to touch upon as well. Um, and hopefully you guys will stick around for that part of it. Um, yeah, there's a lot of good, and it doesn't always all have to be about Funimation either. There's stuff, as I said, that's been done by Sentai Filmworks, that's been done by um, that was been dubbed by Viz, and let's see, another couple I just remembered. Flame of Recca could work well on the nighttime one. That's a real good one. That's one that came out of Studio Pero, the same studio that gave us Bleach, Naruto, and Yu Yu Hakusho. Flame of Recca is a really good one. That ran for I think 52 episodes. Let's see, Project Arms. That would be a good one that they could bring on to Toonami. That one would be. Um, no worries. I feel like I'm keeping you sidetracked. Ha ha ha. If if it's a good show, watch it. Um, I would love to see Erased on there. Well, I haven't seen Erased myself, but if that's a good show, if you think that's a good show, I have seen the opening because, of course, I'll sometimes go onto YouTube and I'll look up like anime openings and stuff like that. So I've seen the opening. Opening looks pretty good. The music and the song is pretty good too. Oh, that reminds me, another good one I think would be a real good one for Toonami. Um, Air Gear, the rollerblading anime. That one would be with the powerful opening from Back On called Chains. That one, I think, if Toonami picked the broadcast rights up to was able to pick up the broadcast rights to Air Gear, that would be such a kick butt anime for them. That would rock. I seriously think that one would rock. Let's see. It looks like you may have commented on some more stuff here. Okay. Um, kind of falls out, but it's a strong. You mean it kind of like towards the end, it kind of dies off. It kind of slows down so much it almost seems like it's gonna die off. Is that what you're basically saying? Let's see. The opening of a race is hands down one of the best done openings in anime. Well, yeah, it looks pretty good. There's some openings I like. Um, I like some, Yu Yu Hakusho, obviously. Chains by Back On. That was good song for an opening for Air Gear. Um, Air Gear just wrote it down. Yeah, that's a good one to check out. That one's a real good one. Um, that could work on Toonami. So with that part of it being done now, I hope I've at least suggested to you guys some other stuff that you guys might you guys check out yourself. But of course, the stream isn't done yet. I'm just gonna be moving on to the second segment here. Um, as I said, I want to try to keep these between an hour and a half and 2 hours, so as not to be running into next time. And I still like the fact that we had a pretty good conversation going about Toonami there, and about some stuff that some licenses that could be picked up. The ending, more or less, wasn't to a lot of people's taste. I loved it, but it's not like the show. It's not like slow, but it's bittersweet. Okay, I get what you're saying now. I haven't got I haven't got to talk about Toonami in like 10 plus years. Well, I'm glad I gave you an outlet. I had to. I was noticing the Toonami update, so and obviously there were some things I want to say about it too because on the Toonami issue, when I was looking at you know at like the Facebook page and some of the talking points they were talking about in terms of licensing and stuff. You know, these companies have a lot of these. They have a lot of the licenses. They have a lot of the licenses for distribution, meaning that they'll dub it and then they'll sell the DVDs. But they don't always. Sometimes they'll broadcast it. Some of them will get broadcast on Toonami. Some of them will get broadcast on their own stuff. Like for example, Funimation has a Funimation channel. What is now, of course, Sentai Filmworks, Seraphim Digital Sounds, what used to be known as EDV. They have Anime Network, and Sentai also has High Dive now. They're utilizing High Dive more. And they also have some deals with some cable companies to do video on demand stuff. Um, let's see. And then, of course, Viz did have Neon Alley a while back there. So that's a lot of what, that's a lot of what, but that's, you know, but basically my point here is that a lot of these dub companies actually already have at least part of the licenses, the distribution licenses. So since they have the distribution licenses to try to seek getting the broadcast license to broadcast them on Toonami shouldn't really be, to get them the permission they need or whatever the deals are there to be able to broadcast it on Toonami shouldn't be since they already have the distribution license. It should probably be. See all this info. I love it. Yeah, I do my homework. I because the thing is, a lot of people don't know this stuff. I've watched my fair share of anime over the years. I've watched, not just on some of the, like Funimation channel and stuff, but there have been like even cable channels like Sci-Fi, like Encore Wham, like Showtime Beyond that have also had, and IFC have also had anime blocks on their channels, and even those titles that were on the like Space Battleship Yamato, which was on Toko, that stuff could probably be brought over to Toonami as well. All they had to do is reacquire the license. They probably had to reacquire the broadcast license, or the distribution license as well. But they could have tried to acquire the broadcast license, try to, you especially with everything going on with COVID right now. Anyways, one of the other things, of course, I wanted to talk a little bit about tonight is a story that Hiro Hay himself had been covering quite a bit. I know Yellow Flash also kind of mentioned this. It's this congressional candidate down in Florida for Florida's a guy running as an independent by the name of K.W. Miller. Now, since the whole thing with Vic started with with now, cancel culture being more and more exposed. We've been talking a lot about the crazies on the left. The crazies on the left. My left, right? I guess. Um, we've been talking a lot about Kick Vic, and we've been talking a lot about people trying to cancel people. Been talking about this and the next thing. We've been talking about the Me Too movement. We've been talking a lot about the crazy people on the left. Let's see. You okay? It looks like let's see. The first anime shows I had ever seen were my older brother's copies of Fatal Fury and Vampire Hunter D. When I was wow, watching that particular Vampire Hunter D, that was at 7. What do your parents think of that? Because 7 years old, watching some pretty dark stuff at that young an age. I wonder how your parents felt about that. And I also wonder, well, and I would guess that, well, I would hope that it didn't warp your mind or anything, which kind of goes into a segue of what we're going to talk about with Miller here. Miller is trash. I think he's a fake trying to get reactions. I actually did a video on it. The second to the last episode of On the Mic, episode 274, subtitled Rule 34. I actually talked about Miller a bit there. Vampire Hunter D was one I covered my eyes a lot for. Yeah, I would imagine at that young an age that would probably been a show like that would have. I think I did see it, and I know it can be pretty dark. And my parents didn't know. Okay, so how did you watch it with your brother then, or did he just let you kind of borrow the DVDs or the tapes or whatever? Don't tell them either. Yeah, well, I doubt very seriously your parents, or I wouldn't even know who your parents would be, obviously. But yeah, Miller, as I was saying earlier, we've been dealing a lot with the extremes on the left. So now we have an extreme on the right with Miller, and I kind of agree with you that I think he's saying a lot. I mean, understand this, okay? Incumbent is Republican Brian Mast. Miller is running as an independent candidate for that seat, as a third party candidate. Most third party candidates don't really do well. So this, I think, could be more of an attention. Let's see what you just put there. We had a basement television set, and me and my brother kept random stuff there. Oh yeah, okay. And I guess as long as your mom didn't go down there to clean, you probably were fine because as long as your mom didn't go down to the basement to do any cleaning, she probably wasn't going fishing through the stuff looking for that kind of stuff. Because I'm sure probably even with your brother watching it, your mom would probably had issues with it. But anyway, so back to Miller here. Yeah, I agree that Miller is probably saying a lot. Maybe partly due to the fact that maybe he is saying it to get a reaction because he's an independent candidate. Independent candidates don't do as well in most situations, and a lot of how he's reacting is a very time honored and tried and tired argument. Oh, it's like, oh my God, we got to protect the kids from the stuff called anime and and the anime he attacked. That's even the funnier part. two of the most iconoclastic classic animes out there, Dragon Ball Z and Pokemon. To suggest adult material. Now, granted, Dragon Ball Z with all the action scenes, it is pretty violent. I can understand that a little bit. But to sit there and try to suggest anything of Dragon Ball having any kind of, like, let's say, mature adult content in terms of a intimate nature, I mean, give me a break. The only way, and I see you made a couple more comments there, Anonymity. I'll get to those in a moment. Let me just finish my thought here on this. The only way I could possibly think Miller would even remotely suggest, have a reason to suggest anything of an intimate, mature nature in regards to Dragon Ball, anything Dragon Ball Z, GT, what have you. Um, Only way I could even remotely think he would have any premise to even go on that tangent would be if he somehow heard about the funny leaks. That's the only possible way he could have got any kind of idea of any kind of intimate, mature content from Dragon Ball. Now, before I go on to some other points, let me try to get caught up here on, because it looks like you went through quite a bit of stuff here, and I didn't mean to necessarily ignore you. It's just I was on such a rant there that let's see. Let me see. Let me just see where it started. Let's see. I think the last one. I think he's fake. I think that was the last one. So let's look at some of the comments he just made. You made a lot of. It looks like you're making even more comments. In fact, or at least I'm hoping maybe the other person who's here is also chiming in as well. Let's see. Vampire Hunter D was one I covered my eyes. Okay, so we saw that one. My parent. Okay, so yeah, we already saw those. Um, Already acknowledged that. My stuff was like Rocco's Modern Life, X Men, and okay, the stuff you watched. So you must have, and I'm guessing the X Men and Spider Man series you're talking about are the ones from the 90s, right? 92, 94. The X Men series from the night that started in 92 and Spider Man started in 94 is what I'm guessing. Let's see. My parents were pretty lenient and would explain how the horror movie scenes were done. So I guess I had a decent understanding of imaginative horror. Okay. Um, Potara, Goku, and Pikachu now. All right. Potara, Goku, and Pikachu now. Yeah, I heard he was even going after Pokemon. Now, granted, Pokemon's had its issues over, certain things were, certain episodes were banned. You know, Electric Soldier Porygon was banned because it actually caused kids to go to the hospital because of the strobing effect. There was some of the blackface incidences with Jinx, um, Tentacruel, um, due to the city destruction of when it came out and whole illusion, the whole um, possible references to 9/11. So, but they even suggest that Pokemon is an anime that's probably more for kids to begin with. So to suggest that there's any again intimate, mature content there is a little over the top. But I think Miller trying to gain attention for his cause. In fact, I remember, I think it was Yellow Flash who talked about this. I guess one of the reply tweets that Miller had gotten was, "Yeah, no worries about that. The third place candidate is on the case, I believe," which is true. I mean, this guy is this. I think one of the other things that was said was that this guy was arguing issues that were like 30 years old, which is true. As I said, it was a very time and tried argument that they tried back in the late 80s and early 90s about like about having to censor and ban some of these like video games at the time, stuff like that. So let me continue on with what. Okay, no worries, man. Take your time. Thank you. Miller is an uncultured swine, ignorant of anything he disagrees with. I Yeah, I think he might be a bit more ignorant. He's obviously a little bit older. He wants to. I think one of the things he tries to, and I've seen some of his pictures on his Twitter page. He's trying to link himself. He's trying to make everybody believe he would. But I even think Trump wouldn't be. Oh wow, we have one more. Oh, Batgoat's here. I just saw Batgoat. I saw Batgoat's name. I'll get to your comment in a moment. Um, just to let you know, too, Batgoat. Um, We're always invited to come in early and hang out as well, because I'm doing like a lot of the pre-show stuff, around 6:30, 6:45. So you're more than welcome to come in early and hang out and talk and stuff like that as well, prior to the show as well. Um, and somebody left. But anyways, yeah. Yeah, Miller's older, and I think what he doesn't seem to realize is by trashing anime, he's basically alienating a very important demographic there, the 18 to 25, 30 year olds. Um, Seems to be alienating them um, in doing in making his criticism about anime, because basically anime, the probably I'd say the primary demographic that anime, particularly a lot of the anime that's come out over the last 20 years or so, a lot of that anime is actually geared towards the 15 to 30 group, 15 to 30 age group. So by charging anime, he's really hurting himself there. But maybe he's, as you said, he's just ignorant of the situation there. So let's see. Let's, my mom had VHS tapes of Dragon Ball in Japanese. I couldn't understand them, but I remember Goku peeing in, urinating in an old witch's fountain and something, ha ha ha, and it was not edited. Yeah, okay, well, yeah, obviously the Japanese versions hit up that weren't even sub probably. Let's see. Yeah, the animated series, Saturday morning cartoon ones. I don't know if Dragon Ball was ever on Saturday mornings. I know they were on Toonami, but I didn't, you know, let's see. Okay, what happened? I hope you're still here, Bat Goat. I first was talking about Toonami, of course. just the schedule update and just gave some commentary on that. I spent a good chunk of time on that. Um, right now, I'm talking about KW Miller, the independent candidate for Florida's 18th seat that that Hirohei has been talking a lot about. Oh, and Hirohei came out with a video today where uh, I guess KW Miller is now threatening YouTubers. Okay, and another kind of interesting twist to this story. Apparently now he's giving veiled threats to go after YouTubers for criticizing him for his ignorance. That's pretty funny. I know Hirohei. I know Hirohei was mentioning that earlier, and I think Hirohei took it as he was going after him primarily. Let's see. At back, Anonymity responded, "Evening, sir. Hey, Anon. I'm not loading, or my earbuds are bad." Or he. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, you may have come in and out there. Let's see. He's Backgoat. Are you saying that KW Miller is slow? I don't know if he's slow. I think he's just more ignorant. Um, but they're Japanese cultured. It's Jinx Blackface or Demon. Yeah, well, again, I knew that. Again, Pokemon was some of the episodes were actually banned. Let's see, Kappa Demon. Um, gonna refresh. Okay, he's on right now. Chat is a little slow. Okay, no worries, Becco. Yeah, no worries. Yay, cool. I'm here. That's good. I'm glad you're here, Batgoat. Um, laugh out loud. True. Actually, let me do one more piece of administrative here. Uh, thanks for the got 5 people in here now. Okay, let me make one more thing here. I know anonymity. You've been on a couple of times, so congratulations. You, along with Batgoat and Gelth Walker, you guys are all mods. So got 5 people in here now. Good. And I'm hoping for those who haven't come in yet. I really would love to hear you guys. Really would love to hear from you guys to see how everything's going. See how you're liking the stream and stuff. Let's see. Well, I thank you back. Let's see. Let me go back to the StreamYard page so I can, because apparently, I've allowed true. Okay, let's see what's happening here. You could be a Nick Stuck get a Rick Stuck double in that was liking Dead Show or Walking Dead Show. Hmm. Mike, you're my bro. I'm always glad to see you stream. Well, especially now considering I'm going to be streaming 5 nights a week now. I hope to see you guys here like every night. And as I was saying earlier too, as I was saying before you guys came on, and I'll reiterate this and talk more about this. And I am looking to do panel streams on Fridays. I'm still working on some guests. I do have some confirmed guests for the 21st. Got the Knuckleheads coming in. Still working on one more guest for that one. I'm also working for guests this Friday and next Friday. If for whatever reason I can't get now, this is something you guys may want to know too. If for whatever reason I can't get guests to come on Fridays, I still do plan on having a panel stream, which means if I don't have guests, I can't get guests to come in, then what I will do is I'll open up the stream to anybody who wants to come in and join me, where we can like all chat it up verbally with each other. Those will be on Fridays. That will be the Friday night forum. So hope you guys will look forward to that. So I hope to see you guys here on a nightly basis. Laugh out loud. Anon, nice wrench. On. Okay. Giving me a wrench is like giving one to a rock. I don't know what I'm doing. Well, yeah, I mean, the one people who are subscribed and I feel are going to be active, you know, you anonymity, you're like my fourth wrench that I've given. The first one was to an IRL friend who will be here at times, friend Brian. And then I gave at my last I think it was my last trial stream, gave one to Gelf Walker and the Bat Goat here, because I know Bat Goat's been on a couple of my trial streams. So the guys I feel are gonna come in. Yes, the Knuckleheads will be great. Yeah, I mean, I have my first three Friday night forums planned out in my head. It's just a matter of whether or not I can get the guests to come in. I'm the While they're not my first guest scheduled, they're my first guest confirmed, and I'm glad. I've been even checking out some of their streams of late. Cress and Mr. Hop are real cool. Um, so I look forward to having them on, and I'm trying to get one other person. Like my Friday night forums, it'll be a panel for myself and hopefully, three other YouTubers. Um, as I said, I'm still working to try to get others confirmed, but again, one that I was trying to get for this Friday told me they were too busy for this month. Maybe I should try back next month. Oh, nice, the Knuckleheads. Yeah, that'll be on the 21st that they'll be coming in for that. Let's see. Batgoat and Gelf Walker are good people. Yeah, I know. I've had a lot of good times with Gelf on Tug streams. I figured it just made sense to have him as a mod on my channel. Anon is a good person too. We swear we swear less than Gelf. Yeah, I've seen some of Gelf swear. uh, yeah. So, yeah. I sometimes get a little potty mouth going. Yeah, I mean, I understand. Everybody gets a little potty mouth going. Particularly when they're excited or when they're agitated. It's understandable. That's understandable. Um, it's more the people I criticize with the potty mouths are the ones who it's more of a regular. It's like well, never mind because you guys. I would hope this isn't the case with you guys. I mean, but those who just seem like they can't get their point across unless every other word or two out of every three words has got to be a swear word. Sure, you guys know the type of people I'm talking about. I would think you guys are not those though, but anyways, Mike, your comics knowledge is second to none. I will always tune in. Well, I would say more. I would say I do a lot of homework. I've done a lot. Again, my interest in comics stems from the fact that I grew up watching Super Friends. I grew up watching Super Friends, so of course I decided to go back and look back at old DC comic stuff. Look up more of the synopses and stuff like that, and going all the way back to the Golden Age and stuff. But I would say people like Tug, and Yellow Flash and like Ethan Van Sciver, those guys probably could run circles around me in terms of not. I mean, I may know more about more of the historical aspect of comics because I've done more recent study on them. But those guys probably have me beat when it comes to like what's going on in comics right now in terms of the knowledge. Oh, Yeltha's a good egg though. Yeah, he is. Oh yeah, I know a few people who put that legendary sailor mouth to shame. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'd say I'm probably if I'd say if you want to say that I have a real strong area, it probably is in the realm of classic cartoons. That's probably where my biggest strength is in terms of my knowledge base. I was a kid in the I mean, Batgoat, you and I talked about this with my sister on the last time. I live streamed where you know I grew up in the '80s. I grew up watching a lot of cartoons. Laugh aloud, and I was in the Navy for 11 years. I know how to swear. Yep, yeah, you said that last time too, Batgoat. Um, yeah, so Batgoat, ha ha ha, and thank you for your service. Yes, thank you for your service, my friend. I was on the Nimitz in '01, 1 week after 9/11. It was scary. Yeah, I actually would. It's kind of funny you mentioned 9/11, Batgo, because I was talking a little bit about 9/11 in terms of how the Pokemon episode Tentacool and Tentacruel got banned because of its somewhat resemblance to 9/11 or about a town being utterly destroyed. Man, yeah. So, anyways, just back to KW Miller for a moment. Basically, a lot of this is, I think, more out of ignorance. The guy is kind of up there with like um guy from Australia that just some real ignorant people who are using just some very tired old arguments that have been around for a long time, arguments that were used to bring about the Comics Code Authority back in 1954, arguments they tried to use again in the late 80s, early 90s, and now he's bringing up those same arguments. You got to protect the kids from exposure to all this adult material. So let's see now. Okay, we already went through some of that. Appreciate you saying that. Thank you. At the end, my dad worked on jet engines, on aircraft carriers. My uncle was U.S. Army. My grandfather served in the military through Pearl Harbor. I was raised respecting those who gave me my rights. Yeah, unlike a lot of these a lot of these athletes who are kneeling, right there, back goat. Your dad rocks. So do you. Yeah. Okay. Excuse me one moment, guys. I gotta like do something real quick off camera here. Um. Okay. Oh wow, an hour and 42. Guys, as I said, I want to try to keep this between an hour and a half and 2 hours, so I'm gonna have to kind of speed up a little bit here because we have one more segment. Of course, I've already said everything I think I need to say about the whole KW Miller situation. But man, how time flies when you're having fun. There's one more segment and just some closing stuff I got to take care of. So I've got to kind of start really moving along here. So let's see if there's anything. Okay, thank you, sir. So let me see. Okay, so that was the last of the comments. Said, okay, well, guess what, Bat Goat? As I said, I have one more segment. And from what I understand, I think this is your favorite. This is your favorite segment. This is actually segment you asked me to keep, and I am going to. But before we do that, let's see. My grandpa name was Carl Thompson, and an old History Channel documentary, and on an old History Channel documentary, he talks about his fire end getting him because the captain needed to talk to him. So he took his post and then a kamikaze. And pilot took his life. I'll never forget seeing that. All right. Okay. Well, okay. All right. Okay. Friend. Okay. All right. Well, as I said, I'll try to keep up on the comments too, guys, but we're kind of towards the end here, so I wanted to get to this last segment. I know this is it is of course Batgoat's favorite segment. Um, Batgoat's favorite segment. It's probably one of mine as well. And in fact, and I'll even share them with you here. Let's see. As soon as I excuse me one more time, guys. I'm back now. I'm just checking through some stuff real quick here. 64. And I am going to try to get to this Bat Goat, so please be patient. So now, let's see, we have the share screen. Let me see. Oh, that's right. Okay, so channel tabs. Okay, so so now, okay, cool. We get history. Yes, I am going to do the history segment. I'm just trying to get everything said here. So, okay, so here we go. Let's start with this. Okay, and I'll make this a little larger to where I can read it more easily. Okay, so this day in Nietzsche history. On this today being August the 3rd, 2020. Let's look back on what has happened on this date in Nietzsche history. So the first thing we're going to look at here is is um is Big X. On this date in 1964. The anime series by Osamu Tezuka debuted on this date in 1964. That was, of course, 56 years ago. Big X was a Japanese sci-fi manga and anime series. Um, Basically, here's the plot of it. invited to Nazi Germany during World War II. Dr. Asagumo is asked by Hitler to collaborate in researching the new weapon, Big X. Now, I don't want to read the whole thing, but basically what ends up happening here is with this anime is that it's got some World War II references to it. Guy gets invited to guy gets invited to be a part of to help Hitler and stuff like that, and then afterwards gets shot by and then his son goes on. But on this date in 1964, Big X would premiere and would run for 59 episodes until 1965. So let's now move on to the next piece of information. Moving ahead in time to on this date in 1980 in the world of professional wrestling. On this date in 1980, Harley Race would retain the NWA World Heavyweight Championship in a best 2 out of 3 falls bout against Dusty Rhodes at the Last Tangle in Tampa Supercard in Tampa, Florida, with Fritz von Erich as a guest referee. Now, back in this time period, of course, most title matches were best 2 out of 3. Rhodes wins the first fall over Race, but the time limit expired during the second fall. Now, since it was a best 2 out of 3 match, the only way that he could have won the title was to have won 2 of the 2 matches, 2 falls. That's the only way he could have won the title there then. So on this date in 1980, which is 40 years ago, Harley Race retained the NWA World Heavyweight Championship over Dusty Rhodes in a best 2 out of 3 falls match. So yeah, so let me at least kind of see what you guys are saying here before I move on to the next piece. Let's see. Always okay. So we'll just go run through here real quick, and then I'll get to the other couple of pieces here. Always informative, Mike, and thank you for the stream. No problem. Thank you guys for coming in and joining me. I hope you guys will continue to come in. I'll always do my homework and make sure that okay, cool. We get a history set. Yes, they will. I will make them a part of the stream. Just got to figure out how to time all this out right to keep it just under 2 hours, so I'm not like running into Nick's stream. Yay! Smiley face, I guess. And wow, before I was born. Cool. Yeah, I mean that's kind of the point of this day in history segment, right? Looking back on stuff that from times when maybe even stuff that maybe your parents watched. Um, so moving on, I really got to hurry up here because we're coming up on 2 hours here, so I gotta really quicken the pace here a bit. Um, on this date in 1990, DuckTales the movie Treasure of the Lost Lamp was released by Walt Disney Pictures on this date in 1990. That was 30 years ago today. On this date, 30 years ago today, Walt Disney Pictures released DuckTales the movie Treasure of the Lost Lamp. And finally, to conclude this particular segment, as soon as I can get it shared. Oops, oops, I shared the wrong thing. I actually shared the wrong thing there. Okay, let me just goes to kind of show you what happens when you feel rushed, right? Kind of make goofs. So here's the last thing, and this is from so on this date, in 2016, cover date October 16th, the volume four of so Marvel Comics on this date in 2016 released the October cover date October 2016 issue of volume four, issue number 10 of Doctor Strange. Volume four of Doctor Strange, issue number 10, was released on this date in 2016, which was, of course, 4 years ago today. This is volume four. So this was the conclusion of this is the concluding chapter of the Last Days of Magic story arc. So with that, let's see. I got new comments here. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like you guys said quite a few things. I'm gonna try to get through all of them as quickly as I can. See, I'm in. Ha ha ha. Sounds interesting. I was 12, not a wrestling fan though. I have a 12 and 9. Yeah, okay. Because I remember you did tell me what your year of birth was, so or I figured it out. Again, I cover all the different. Not everybody's a wrestling fan. Not everybody's an anime fan. Not everybody's a cartoon fan. Not everybody's a comics fan. I'm a little bit of a fan of each. I know we'll have a good mix of people to have good conversations about the stuff. That's my ultimate goal is to bring people together and help them reminisce about some old stuff, talk about some new stuff, and hopefully we can all get along and have some fun and have some good conversations. Let's see. Nick's always late, anyways. Yeah, true, but I know he's a pretty big streamer, and I know, and I know even doing this stream, I'll be competing at least the part of the week against Crow. Crow's a judgment, unfortunately, but I hope you guys will come in and hang out and learn as much as we can. Nick wears flame. Oh yeah, that reminds me of oh boy, Bat Goat, classic cartoon stuff right there, right? Classic cartoon stuff in terms of because you and I have both seen our fair share of MGM cartoons or Warner Brother cartoons, or where you know that the seed of a number of characters' um, pants are flaming. But I got excuse me one more time, guys. Okay, I'm back. Um. Anyway, so let's Ducktales. Woo! Uh-huh. Yeah, I watched it too back then as well. Granted, I was already in high school by that point. You were probably a little bit older than me. You're obviously older than me. You were probably in college, or actually, you were probably actually already in the Navy by that point, right? Fat goat. Classic show. Yep. It's all right, Mike. I'm comics, cartoons fan. You got me, fan of you, Mike. Well, I hope you always come to my streams so that I have at least one person. I hope everybody who's here, comes back. And if there's anybody in here who, I'll say this a little bit more to it when I finish with the comments here. But if there's anybody in here who hasn't subscribed yet, I encourage you to subscribe so that way you get the notifications and can join in on all the good conversations we're gonna have. Let's see now. I'm always here as long as I'm not at work. That's cool. That's understandable. That's cool. I said I always like trying to get people in. Yeah, Mike. Yeah, Mike has an amazing knowledge. Someday there will be 1,000 people here, and we'll say ring that bell too. Yep. Um. Yeah. Okay. So I think I've touched upon everything, including the history section. I kind of got all caught up. So let me just make some concluding remarks, and then I think we'll wrap it up here. Um, let's see. First off, guys, always remember, even though I will start promptly at 7, you're always welcome to come in. I'll probably be getting on around 6:30 or between 6:30 and 6:45 to do like pre-show stuff. Share the video, that kind of thing. So you're always welcome to come in early and hang out, and we can talk to each other, talk to me. As I'm doing my thing, getting stuff prepared. You know, um, and you can always help by sharing the link. So you guys are always welcome to come in early. Um, Also, now of course with the usual ending spiel here. Okay, first off, if you guys would like to contact me directly, because my Discord link is in the links below. You can always direct message me there, and check out the Discord and join the Discord if you'd like. Um, as you guys see in the links as well, I'm also promoting a bunch of different dub companies. So for those of you who are anime fans, particularly dub fans, want to look up more of the works that I talk about, you can go to those websites and check them out yourself. You know, I'll always be happy to provide the information for you. If you want to do your own homework as well, you're welcome to do that. I provide at least the starting point for you. Also, I'm still, of course, promoting Vic's GoFundMe as well as Tug and Lug's, comic book, another case of the littlest umbrella. As always, guys, never feel like you have to donate. If it's on your heart to do so and you have the means to do so, please consider donating. If you have already donated, please consider donating again. And if you cannot donate, you can still help out the cause by sharing the links. Because after all, sharing is caring, and you never know. Maybe somebody in your circle of friends may want to help out as well. Doesn't hurt to ask. And if you guys like this content, if you guys like my, I hope you guys like my stream tonight. And I do plan on doing this Monday through Friday. As I said earlier, Friday nights will be panel nights. As I mentioned earlier, I do have my first confirmed guest for the 21st. That'll be the Knuckleheads. They'll be here. I'm still working to get one other person on that night. I'm also still working on getting guests for next Friday and this Friday. Just trying to get some confirmation. Unfortunately, one of the people I was trying to get for this Friday said they were too busy this month and could not do it this month. Maybe they'll do it next month. So I'm disappointed. I understand. I hope to get some people. I hope to get some people in. I really want to have some good conversations. So these first few streams are going to be get to know you streams when I have the panel nights, which we'll be talking about some good stuff. Um, so I hope to see you guys in here. As I said, if you guys like this content, please consider liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. I always look forward to the conversation with you guys as long as it's civil and respectful. You know, um, I won't. I mean, we can always agree to disagree on certain things, but I really have very little patience for trolls. And I know at least the people I've talked to thus far are not trolls. Um, so I know you guys are not trolls, but but I have had some issues with one particular troll, and that's why I have to say all this. But but I do appreciate you guys coming on and being a part of the stream, being part of the being part and having watched my past videos too. And don't forget to, you guys, and I know I'm over 2 hours already trying to wrap this up. Don't forget, even though I've stopped on the mic segments, I still am doing feature videos in terms of VA profiles, and I'm also still working on the squared circle calendars. You guys want to check those out as well. So let me get through the last of the comments here, and then we'll wrap up. I'll kind of just close everything out here. Okay, find where we last left off. Maybe I should go ahead and just start leaving the comment I last highlighted. Cool. It was fun. Um, I do email. I do email. Okay, I understand. I mean, as long as you're coming on anyways, I mean, I'm sure if you have any questions or something like that, you can always ask me on stream too. So Discord is just the only thing I usually just prefer to. I mean, I do have a Facebook. I don't have Twitter anymore. I got rid of Twitter back in December because I was basically tired of all the garbage. I hate Discord. Vic GoFundMe, Tug Lug, you are a good dude. Yeah, you know, as I've said before, um, Bat Goat, rather than focusing on demoting the bad people and really harping on the negative people, I prefer to try to promote the positive people. Rather than really getting into it or like sitting here talking a whole lot about like Kick Vic or the Kick Vic voice actors or whatever. I want to hopefully help people know that there are other voice actors out there who I believe would, you know, other voice actors out there who would, appreciate their fanfare. And I'll promote causes when I can, to the best of my ability. And I'm not really a big I've only got 90. You two are like two of my 92 subscribers. Okay, so I'm still a fairly now. I've had my YouTube channel since 2013, but I only started. I've only been at this now for only 13 months. You know, well, actually a little longer because I think it was actually May of 2019, so actually it's more like 15 months. But I've only been at this for 15 months, and I do appreciate you guys coming on, especially now with my streams. And still remember, you guys can always come in early and hang out stuff when you can. And I understand you guys may have work and have other stuff, but let me get through more of these comments. Mike knows the goodies. Well, I'm a classic guy into the classic stuff. Um, let's see. I was glad to be here, Mike, and I'm glad to have you back, Goat. I guess that's where Tug and I are a lot alike, where we are appreciative of our fans. You know, they come in. And I'll be looking forward to the next one, and we'll try to make it if I'm off for sure. Yeah, the next stream will be tomorrow night. As I said, I'm going to be doing it every Monday through Friday. Today was Monday Machinations. Tomorrow the subtitle will be Tuesday Talks, and the subtitle is going to be the same for every week. I'm not going to try to think of different ones for each individual one. Peace and peace, Mike. Much love. Thank you, Bat Goat. I hope to see you tomorrow night. Let's see. Don't let the lames get you down. They're a small part of the greater. The greater. Have a good one, Bat Goat. Yeah, I know they're part of the greater good. As I said, I always tried. That's one of the things I decided a while back. I decided I would rather focus on more positive stuff. That's part of the reason why I just stopped. That's one of the reasons why I just stopped covering Chick Vic altogether because it was just becoming more rhetoric than anything else. Anyways, thank you for the stream, Mr. Walters. You're welcome, Anonymity. Thank you for being here. Hope to see you tomorrow night. They'll come. Yeah, I hope so. I believe I've got enough. You're a good man, Mike. Thank you, Batgoat. I'll be working tomorrow, but I should be off maybe around 9 or 10. I'm hoping, and though, ha ha ha. Okay, well, I look forward to having you. I hope to see you guys tomorrow night. Um, Thank you for being on, and we've just run over 2 hours, so I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. I know you guys. Um, I know Nick's stream's already going, so but thank you guys for being on, and I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow night and every night if possible. So I shall bid you all adieu. Thank you all. Thank you guys again. No, I've said that so many times. Uh, have a good one. You too. Good night, guys.